Alright, let's give Saturday's Daily Puzzle on chess.com a shot. This one's called Trapped in a Tactical Pattern. It's white to move. Give the video a pause and try it yourself if you feel like it. Cool, so my immediate thought was that this is just going to be checkmate. The knight can block. I also have a check here, or a check here. If I were to check here, I'm seeing that the bishop could slide in here potentially. The queens are staring at each other. Okay, so if I check here, the pawn has to take that, otherwise this is going to be checkmate. So check. If the king moved to either of these two squares, I would just checkmate it. Like the knight could block if the king was on this square, but I just take. So I kind of like this. Pawn takes, check. I was thinking about bringing in the bishop after, so I'm thinking check, pawn takes, check. Yeah, so that gives the king too much time. The king can escape. And the queen obviously has to move because the queens are staring at each other. So I'm going to have to give checks until I move the queen. Check, knight blocks, check. Some sequence of these moves. I think I probably have to sack the queen. Check, knight blocks, queen sack. Ah, but then the knight check doesn't work. Check, knight blocks, knight check. There we go, I think I got it. Wait a second. Check, knight blocks, knight check, pawn takes, queen sack, king takes, bishop check, king back, rook checkmate. I think that's all forced. So I give this check. Only move for black is to block with a knight. I give this check. Only move for black is to take the pawn. I mean, the king could move back, but again, I take with checkmate. So here, blocks. Here, takes. I take with the queen, forcing the king to take. Now the king's on this square. The bishop comes in and gives a check. The king only has one move. It's back to the original square that it was on. The rook comes in and gives a checkmate. Feels like a pretty good Saturday Puzz to me. Check. Check. Takes. Here. Here. Nice, dude. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Let's run that back one time. All right. So, tricky little Saturday puzzle. Bunch of forcing moves here. This looks like a great check. It almost looks like checkmate until you realize that the knight can block, which is a little annoying. You do have two pieces looking down the e-file here. So after I go here, the knight's going to have to block. That's the only move in the puzzle. So the knight blocks, at which point I can jump my knight in here. And it's kind of tough to find this move, I thought. The order of the moves is interesting. You got a bishop looking in here. Like, all of your pieces are really teaming up. It's just about figuring out the order. But after I go here, the pawn absolutely has to take. And then I could bring my bishop in and kind of close off the king. And it looks like it's probably going to be mate, but black's got some different moves that can save that. So I go here, the pawn takes, and then I sacrifice my queen to draw the king onto this square right here where it can be checked by the bishop, and then I'm going to be able to close off the ceiling on this king right here. King has to move back. My rook's got the file. My rook slides in for the checkmate. That's the puzzle. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.